Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films, and today I'm going to be giving you a review of the first season of Star Wars Rebels. For those that don't know, Star Wars Rebels is an animated show on Disney, and probably Disney XD, I think. And yeah, it's Star Wars, so let's go ahead and talk about it start off with the story, obviously. So, the main premise of this is that this takes place, I think, 14 years after the events of Revenge of the Sith, the third Star Wars, episode 3 of Star Wars. That's what I should actually say. And so it's about a few years before A New Hope, probably like 5 years or so. And there's this kid who is on this planet and meets up with these rebels that are rebelling against the Empire, and he teams up with them to rebel against the Empire, and that's pretty much that. So let's get into characters. The first character to talk about is the main character, the kid, Ezra. I don't know who he's played by. I don't know who any of these are played by, so doesn't really matter. But Ezra, he's this orphan on the planet of, I think, Lothal is what it's called. I'm not entirely sure, but he's kind of this cocky kind of kid, kind of arrogant and stuff, but he meets this team, and he just helps them rebel against the Empire. He's a good main character, and is pretty much his role model, or his, I guess, sort of father figure, is Kanan, who is revealed. This could be a spoiler for season 1. I don't remember when it came in, but so yeah, possible spoilers for Star Wars Rebels. It is revealed that Kanan is actually a Jedi, and so he basically takes in Ezra as an apprentice. So Ezra is now his Padawan, and so they have that usual master-Padawan relationship that you see in Star Wars. The rest of the crew, I don't know how much there really is to talk about. Let's see, Sabine is the artist. She's good, alright. Hera, who I guess is their captain or their pilot, is occasionally, like, at least in the later episodes that I remember, she's kind of taken on, like, this motherly role for Ezra. So, and then Zeb, who I do know is voiced by Steve Bloom. It's the only one I really know out of all of them, but Zeb is pretty fun. And then there's the droid Chopper, who is just a dick, and it can be really hard to like Chopper, but that's the crew. The whole crew is really good, and so there's that. There are some people that come in later, like some guests in the later episodes, and you'll obviously know them when you see them, and they all do pretty well. And then in terms of the villains, well, first off, we can say the stormtroopers still don't know how to aim, and it's really ridiculous in this show. So the stormtroopers just cannot aim. It is ridiculous, because this first season, I don't know, maybe 13 episodes, I swear none of these stormtroopers actually hit anyone. Like, at no point. Like, there will be a point where a person is just standing there for like 10 solid seconds, and there will be like maybe 100 blasts going past the character. And so Stormtrooper's terrible, but I guess we don't really need to harp on that. In terms of the other villains, there's not much to say. In the beginning, there's sort of this guy, he's got like wicked sideburns, and whatever, he's just, regular Empire guy, meh. But the big villain that we have in this first season is the Inquisitor, I think played by, is it Jason Isaacs? I think it's the guy who played Zhao in Avatar: The Last Airbender. So, if I'm wrong, here's his name. If nothing appeared, then I'm right. So, he's pretty good as the Inquisitor, but kind of later on in the season, his role is kind of diminished, and you'll see why if you watch the first season. So, but for what he had, I thought he was really good. The only complaint I have about the Inquisitor is his lightsaber. His lightsaber is stupid, and I don't like it, because you can probably see this. This is not a spoiler to discuss a guy's lightsaber, but his lightsaber. Okay, I'm gonna pretend that I have a lightsaber. Sorry, readjusting myself in my chair. So he has a lightsaber which appears to just be a single blade lightsaber, but it has like this sort of guard. Like, in some of those old swords, it'll have a guard. So I'm thinking, okay, why does it have a guard like that? And later, the guard actually splits, so it's a perfect circle, and then another lightsaber blade will come out. So it's a double-bladed lightsaber, and I think, okay, well, that's interesting. The lightsaber blades then start turning on their own, and it was kind of cool the first time. After a while, it's really not that cool. And I get they want to try to make a new, unique lightsaber design, but I don't know. That one didn't work for me, so that's pretty much it in terms of characters. Besides, there is one that comes in towards the end in the last couple episodes, and he is pretty good, and you'll see why if you see the show. So, he's really good. Cinematography, and, well, it's an animated show, so technically special effects. So we're going to go with cinematography and animation on this. So my list is set up for movies, not shows. I've never done a TV show review before, even though I have a playlist that says movie and TV reviews. So that's not the point. Let's keep going with this review. So we're going to go with cinematography and animation. The cinematography is really good in this. There are a lot of really good action shots, and the animation is pretty good. There were a couple points, and this is kind of in the beginning when, I don't know, maybe they didn't have things down quite yet or something, but there's the occasional movement that a character will do that it just kind of, I don't know, it doesn't feel right. So, other than that, animation is perfectly fine, and it's really decent animation. Music and sound, it's Star Wars. There's Star Wars music in it. There's Star Wars sound effects. It's good. So, you pretty much know that, that because it's Star Wars, music and sound is really good. So yeah, and like I said, my list is set up for movies, so I'm kind of winging it now because these other things on here are not, like, they don't mean anything for a show. I'm not really going to get into spoilers, but you know what, honestly, we're just going to go into final thoughts and the final verdict. So, final thoughts on the show. It's a really solid show. If you like Star Wars, I think you will like this. And like I said, the animation is really good, the characters are really good, and while it can be kind of goofy at times, it does have its serious moments. Because I've seen, and I don't even know if I need to mention this, but I've seen like complaints that Star Wars Rebels is not dark enough, I think. I think I saw that. Now, I don't know. I can't speak for the later seasons if they get darker or goofier, but for this season, it was a decent balance of, you know, fun and seriousness, which is really essential to capture in Star Wars. So, and I think that did that pretty well. So, yeah, there's really nothing much else to say about Star Wars Rebels Season 1, except you should go see it. And it's time for final verdict, I guess. I'm going to be doing ratings for this. So, for Season 1 of Star Wars Rebels, I'm going to give it a rating of a B+. Because, while it is a really good show, I suppose it could have been a little bit better. There are... Okay. This is still in some of my final thoughts that I'm just thinking off the top of my head, but there are a couple things that maybe are too goofy, and maybe some things like the stormtroopers just in general are bad. So, so yeah, I think B+, I said B+, right? I think I did. B+ is what I'm going to give this. Yeah, pretty solid. I totally recommend you go and see it. And yeah, so I can't wait to start watching Season 2, and I believe Season 3 is just around the corner, so I better get to work on catching up. Yeah. So, that's going to be all for this video. Next week we're going to have another TV show review, hopefully. My plans could change. We'll find out next week. Links to social media in the description. You can follow 7th Hour Films on Twitter. You can subscribe here on YouTube to stay up to date with what 7th Hour Films is doing. And yeah, that is pretty much it. So, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I'll see you guys later.